的姑娘们，单把的小伙子好英俊，单把的五姑年丰娘美酒，美酒飘香的人醉，喜出风尘。高举美酒欢迎你，唱起歌儿欢迎你，远方的归。
Beautiful mountains, beautiful rivers, and beautiful people. That's where we are at right now. It's said that everyone here who can speak can sing, and everyone who can walk can also dance. In the Gansu Tibet Autonomous Prefecture, the place we will explore Tibetan culture in the next few days. The Gansu Tibetan Autonomous Prefecture is located in northwest Sichuan and has attracted explorers, pilgrims, and traders for ages. The most common path is by flight into Chengdu Airport, followed by a long car ride to Danba, then leading to Daofu, Ganzi, and finally Dege. It's a strenuous route, fit only for the travel enthusiast. The road trip is almost 1,000 kilometers, but for those who can make the journey, the path provides a stunning glimpse of Tibetan lifestyle. From afar, Danba seems like a kingdom of mystical castles, with watchtowers everywhere. Whoa. This mountain valley is 383 kilometers from Chengdu. Aye. It's dark and creepy in here. No lights. Can you imagine fighting a battle in this watchtower? The last rung. The watchtowers were originally built for defensive purposes and vary in height from 16 to 36 meters. The villagers say that there are both male and female towers, the female ones with horizontal lines, like the flaps of a girl's dress. Another belief is that after a family has a son, the family should build a watchtower to protect him from evil spirits. They should add one floor to the watchtower until it was 18 stories high. Did you spot the enemy? Well, there's no enemies, but can you imagine living a life here, sitting here and looking out the watchtower, hours, days on end? Outside, the landscape is varying, from towering mountains with an altitude of over 5,000 meters to river valleys as low as 1,700 meters. The weather is mild and the inhabitants are farmers that live in Tibetan residences on the mountains and by the Dadu River. The houses are built in harmony with the mountainous landscape, simple yet inviting. I couldn't help but want to visit one village. The typical house has 3 floors. The first floor for raising pigs and chickens, second floor is where the inhabitants live, and third is for prayer and worship. On top of the roofs is corn. This is one of the crops the farmers commonly plant. Wow, spectacular view. Actually, these small windows are a characteristic of one of these houses because we're high up in the mountains and the winds are very, very strong. So the small windows keep us warm. It's also the same with the walls. So thick. Oh! So over there are the chickens, but I want to show you my favorite animal. Guess what? Oink, oink, oink! It's the pig! Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Oh, it's getting a little cold outside. Luckily, we're in the most important room with the fireplace, right here. And around the winter time or dinner time, the people will start up a fire and then boil their pots of goodies and beef and pork and all these sorts of meats here. And also, this is a center of activity because when the guests come or friends come over, they'll gather around here, eat and drink and rest and maybe sing and dance. It's a good time. But today, we're not going to be eating here because there's a special banquet held today when someone has built a new house and everyone from the village will be attending this party. I'm ready to go. From afar, the quiet village may seem to be asleep, but today, the situation was clearly different. The new houses are built by the entire community, so a celebration is held when the building is complete. During the day, hundreds of guests, virtually all the people in the village, came to celebrate. They brought small gifts or sums of money. I wasn't aware of the custom, but I was welcome nonetheless. The girls in Danba are known for their beauty, giving the village the name Beauty Valley. So here I am at the brand new house, and you can see that there's people of all different kinds, men, women, children, all ready to have fun and eat. And the meal is right over there. Of course, a good celebration needs food. Big pans filled with juicy meats, tasty vegetables. Now, time for some exercise. The traditional guozhuang dance is perfect. Even the little ones get jiggy with it. In this dance, men and women dance along a circle. The dance is performed when celebrating holidays, birthdays, weddings, and the building of a new house. The next morning, we continue our journey to Daofu, 160 kilometers from Danba, stopping at Huiyuan Temple, located in a sacred location surrounded by mountains on all sides. The Tibetans are devout people, and one ritual for them is spinning the prayer wheel. It's believed that spinning the wheel is like reading the scriptures, which are written clockwise. So turn the wheel clockwise. Inside, I met the living Buddha, who is the teacher of Tibetan Buddhism. The carvings record the temple's history and state that the Han Emperor, the Qing Emperor at the time, wanted to promote peace between the ethnicities and ordered the creation of this temple. The dragons on the walls, combined with the lions, also symbolize harmony. The dragon is a symbol of royalty of the Han Emperor, while the lion is the highest animal to be worshipped in Tibetan religion. What are these people doing? Practicing martial arts? Well, they're debating scriptures. It's when the monks gather and test each other on the principles of their religion. They clap their hands to emphasize their main points. Monastery life is rigorous, but life for women means work too. Along the way to the center of the county, I saw a few women working in the fields. What they're doing is beating the crops so they can get the seeds to make vegetable oil. Closer to the center of the city, I got a glimpse of the local Tibetan houses.
Here we go!
We're gonna Dorji's house! We're gonna Dorji's house! Actually, this is a friend of mine who lives in a very traditional Tibetan house, and today we're gonna go visit him. Woo! We're gonna Dorji's house! We're gonna Dorji's house! 赶快点是吗？Woo! The buildings almost look like temples or museums. However, they're just ordinary residences. The house was built by the family, and they have resided there for over 10 years. It will be passed on from generation to generation.
走，
哎，好，谢谢。
走走，这是青稞酒，藏民的青稞酒。
哎，谢谢您。
哦，
好，这样子。
这个甜水。
这样。
有这弹下去。
哎，so the alcohol is used
有
to
弹过去。
sort of give to the gods.
再喝一点。
喝一点，喝一点。
喝一点。这样子就可以了。走，请坐。
好，谢谢，谢谢。
你坐，我给你蒸饭去哦。
那好，那我先坐着。
不用客气。好。
Wow. So we have a lot of snacks here. So many delicacies. Let's look around this place. The architecture is actually really, really amazing. First of all, the colors are so striking. If you look at these walls here, it's a mix of red and blue and green and all colors. And here you can see signs of the Tibetan culture. And also, another interesting thing is this house is made 100% of wood, and there's no nails either. Yet it's still very sturdy, even though this is an earthquake-prone region, right here. The realistic carvings and hues of the house remind me of being outside in nature, with grasses, waters, and chirping birds. Is it possible to bring all the colors of the rainbow indoors? The house becomes a fantastic indoor garden. In the kitchen, women are busily preparing the delicious meal, cooking in an enormous wok and starting up the wooden fire. The hearty meal includes vegetables, potatoes, and local bread. At the same time, the man of the house is in a very special room. The room is reserved only for men, so I couldn't enter. But our cameraman got a peek inside. It's the worship room, and Doti is lighting up candles and worshiping the Buddha. Come on in, the food is ready. Hey, we came just in time to celebrate the kid's birthday. Although the food was not grand, it was a real homemade meal and a real party. Among hospitable family members, it was a great way to end an already amazing day. The next morning, we head to Ganzi County, which is 170 kilometers away. And it is here we start experiencing a real rise in altitude. 3,000 to 5,000 meters above sea level. It's sometimes called a sunny town because of the intense sunlight. Running through the county is the famous Chama Road, which translates into the Tea and Horse Road. This is the ancient commercial passage treaded by human feet and horse hoofs, bridging Sichuan and Yunnan with Tibet. Along the 4,000-kilometer road, tea, salt, and sugar crossed into Tibet. It served as a channel of communication and can be thought of as the Southern Silk Road. The Chama path was long and strenuous, so oftentimes the travelers needed to come and stop by on the road. And this was a very famous temple called the Dajin Temple. And at this temple, a lot of the traders would engage in trade, and they would rest and let their horses rest. The Dajin Temple was built during the reign of Emperor Kangxi in 1662. Traders, but also pilgrims, would stop by on their way to pay respect to the deities of Buddhism. Honey, I'm home! It's dark and there's nothing in there. No people. As I headed for the center of the city, I walked along the old street and found children having fun. In my part of the world, children get around on their bikes, but here, it's common to see a boy on his donkey. Along the street, you'll also find local shops selling delicacies. 哎，师傅，您这儿卖什么东西啊？
卖锅盔、酸辣子、青稞酒。
这锅盔是什么呀？
锅盔是装出大饼。
So here they have some alcohol and some fresh yogurt, right here, and then my favorite, the bread. 我试一块行吗？
可以啊。
好，给我拿一块。Nice and round. Looks like almost a pizza, but with very thick crust and no sauce and no cheese. 尝一块。
好。
你想吃一块吗？I guess I'll try some by myself. It's very chewy. Perfect combination with a great dish. Or some sauce, like yogurt. Excellent. There's a simple nature of the county and its residents. Perhaps it's the fact that animals roam the streets as if they own them. Left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left. Say hi to the camera. Hi, I'm a mule. Don't be shy. Hi, how are you? Okay, I have to go back to work now. Bye-bye. Left, left. people who inhabit the region are called Kangba Tibetans, and they are the most religious. Almost every aspect of their lives revolves around their religion. It's said that there's secrets and treasures in their cultures, and they're all buried in the monasteries of Ganzi. Many families send their sons to monasteries at a very young age. They work hard, but they also study even harder. During the day, they attend lessons in the morning, like any other school. The old and young gather together to listen to the teacher as he reads from the sutras, or Buddhist scriptures. After lessons each day, they send him off by laying their cloak and letting their teacher walk back. This is a sign of their respect for him. Locked up in Donggu Temple are many treasures. I was searching for the tangka, which are religious scroll paintings mounted on cloth. The paintings tell stories, historical events, and portray Tibetan history like our textbooks record history. At this monastery, perhaps the most valuable of all tankas were hidden. Going up what seemed to be an infinite flight of stairs and opening door after door, I finally found what I was looking for.
And the Tonkan country to ban Japa Gande Jan, Kuril Jerry. The Junke Seri Nimana Trabal has Triangle Nonkaji that teacher, and the Chitayers in the Timba Hachatabaga, Kiraji trigger. The Timba Hachataba, the Nil Hobalo Janakas, the Nikata Chucha, the near and Diapates at the Jiri. The end the Tonkan Mandra Chigers in the near Theato, the and the Siogama and the Yogana Pui in a Siogama treachery. And then Timba Hachatabar. And Traba has a non-Kajima treasure.
Although I can't really understand the Tibetan language, I can still sense the mystery behind all of this. This painting here, if you look carefully, it's made so delicately and intricately. Each hair on the Buddha looks like it was painted one at a time. I wonder what kinds of tools and what kinds of techniques were used to make this. The world of Tibetans seems a planet wholly different from ours. No gridlock traffic, honking horns, and dizzying lights. All has been replaced by herds of grazing yak, singing villagers, and vivid flowers. Sometimes, living in our own little boxes, we forget that we coexist with completely different people. What a small fraction of the world we occupy. Watch Travelogue next week as we continue west to Dege. I am determined to see more of this world.
Chitamba yimbe nyam tu tarona, drishe chitamba yimbe